off because it's something to memory. Okay. Okay, is it on?
Richard, I'm not sure that we got anything. You got it yet? Okay. Testing, testing, testing. It sounds like we're starting to get some. Hello?
Mercury in retrograde.
Let me turn it up a little bit. We're on HH2, by the way. Okay.
HH2?
Yeah, HH2.
Okay. Do the best you can.
Hello?
Okay, you'll have to project your voice. Okay, go ahead. You can do it.
Close your eyes. Remembering Atlantis. As I sit in a trance looking out at the sea, a magnificent story is coming to me. A memory of a glorious, beautiful land. Something's emerging from out of my head. Something so wonderful wants to be said. There's a marvelous city under the sea, right here at my doorstep. It's calling to me. Remember the crystals, remember their light, their colors, their power. Oh, what a sight. They're calling me back to a time and a place where loving and living happened with grace. Atlantis is rising. I know that it's true. From under the waters, so clear and so blue. I call forth the crystals from under the sea to radiate light to you and to me. I call forth the pyramid from under the sea. Remember, remember, it's calling to me. Remember the power, remember the plan, remember the crystals, remember the land of Atlantis in all of its glory. Remember, remember, and then tell the story. A priest and the priestesses walking the earth. Remember the plan at the time of your birth, to bring back the crystals, the love and the glory of oneness, connection, for this is the story of gods and of goddesses walking the land with powerful light and love oh so grand. Yeah, the crystals are hidden in each of our hearts, implanted by spirit as we did depart. On our journey to earth at this time of ascension, we're holding the keys to another dimension. Inside our hearts is a powerful story of love and redemption, of healing and glory. Releasing our crystals from one to another, spreading our light to our sister and brother. The time to release them has finally arrived. It's safe to express what we've kept locked inside. A treasure so grand, so awesome, so bright. A treasure of marvelous, beautiful light. Yes, they stream from our hearts as we breathe deep inside. They radiate forth with glory and pride. Pride in the memory of what we are worth, and our purpose in bringing the crystals to earth. Remember the gardens, the beauty, the flowers. Remember the light rays, the colors, the power. Remember the peace and joy of each heart. Remember the reasons that caused us to part from this beautiful path in all of its glory. Remember, remember the rest of the story. The guilt and the fear, the shame left behind as we watched with such horror what we'd done with our minds. We felt it all crumble from under our over this beautiful land leaving destruction with nothing to stand. In a place where once stood such a glorious tower, remember, remember what we did with our power. Bereft of the crystals, bereft of the tower, we wandered the earth in search of our power. It all washed away, so we sought a new place, somewhere to go to start a new race. As we set out to create a new time and story, we were simple and free of all ego and glory. Survival was tough after losing our land, so we formed into groups and started a plan to explore and discover where next we would go. Tribes were created, the ones we now know, as Mayan, as Incan, as Cherokee, as Sioux. These people evolved from Atlantis and Mu. We formed tribes and traveled in new space and time, creating for us a new paradigm. To Egypt some went, to the shore by the sea, and settled the land we call Galilee. With memories of magic, we started again and created a space from which we would transcend. The pain and sorrow of losing our race, we wanted to share the memories, the place that we'd come from, we lived in, yet to most it was feared. This power we claimed was not to be cheered. Instead, it caused uproar, dissent, and unrest. Our words and our actions were hard to digest. To claim such connection, such power was bad, and any who listened were viewed as quite mad. Yet slowly we grew in our numbers again and kept in our hearts the plan to transcend the fear and resistance we met on our path into beauty and love and a joy that would last. Through the time and the space we had yet to go, to come to the place that we've now come to know. As the age of Aquarius, a time to rebirth, the memories of oneness and create a new earth. So with all the memories we've come to recall, at this time of our life, we need to stand tall and reclaim our essence, our power, our story. In this time and this space, we're reclaiming our glory. As gods and goddesses walking this land with purpose and power and a plan oh so grand. Remembering a story, once upon a time in the land of Mu, a little girl was born who knew just what to do. She called on light. She called on love. She brought down blessings from above. She ran along the shores and frolicked in the sea. Her heart was full of love for all humanity. The sun, the moon, the stars all shared their light and love, and she thanked every day for their blessings from above. The dolphins were her friends. They laughed and romped and played. They gently spoke to her of a promise that she made. When she heard their voice, it stirred a memory of something that she knew about who she chose to be. She said she'd bring the light to those who can't yet see who they really are and who they want to be. And so she left the shore of the land of Galilee, with a joyful, loving heart for everyone to see. She traveled far and wide, telling everyone of the light that shines inside from the loving central sun. But no one heard her words, and they thought that she must be a strange and lonely child that came from by the sea. Sadness filled her heart, and the memory began to fade of the joy that filled her days and the promise that she made. She wandered through the land, not knowing where to go. She was lost and all alone, and her heart was aching so. She lost her way somehow, and she lost the memory of who she really was. and who she said she'd be. She couldn't find the light, and she couldn't find the sea. She couldn't find the shores of Mu and Galilee. She sat upon a rock and asked the central sun, "What happened to my light, to my love for everyone?" The central sun shone down and said, "You let your light be snuffed out by the voices of the people in your sight. For when you look about at those who only see a strange and lonely child, then that's what you will be. To walk amidst this land, your sight must always be on the sun and the moon and stars, on the light that you can see. For the light will fill your heart, and joyful you will be, as you were the day you left the shores of Galilee. When you share your love, don't worry what they see, for as you shine your light, you stir a memory that resides within each heart and waits to be set free, a memory of the sun and the shores of Galilee. So where do I go now? I'm lost and I can't see the road I should be on or where I need to be. Just step along the path and let your heart lead you back into the land of Galilee and Mu. She got up from the rock with relief that made her laugh, and a lightness filled her step as she started down the path. It took her to the shore. It took her to the sea, where she romped and played and laughed as her spirit was set free. The joy refilled her heart. The memories flooded through of the place she had been in the land of Mu. She thanked the sun and moon. She thanked the stars above for helping her return to the memory of love. Her days were filled with joy, her nights with peaceful rest, as she spent her time each day doing what she loved best. And so the day arrived when the dolphin spoke again and stirred within her heart that place where she had been. The memory returned of what she said she'd do to share the love and light and leave the land of Mu. And so she set about on her journey near and far, holding tight the hands of the sun, the moon, and the star. She traveled far and wide, sharing light and love, keeping in her heart all the blessings from above. For now within her heart, she carries Mu, you see. She knows the way back home to the shores of Galilee. When the memory starts to fade, she returns to the sea and is filled with light and love, replenished endlessly. Her eyes are on the light, the moon, the stars, the sun, and it spills into her heart with a love for everyone. She knows now that this love will stir within each heart a memory so deep that it causes them to chart a path that brings them back to the memory of love and how to share their light that comes from up above. And a child was born, little child of love and light, born on a clear and star-filled night, born to bring the light and love to earth from all the stars above. Remember how before you came, you chose a life, a place, a name? You picked a mom, a dad, some siblings too, a town, a house. You picked the view. You left this place so far away and made a journey one grand day. A journey to your planet Earth. You chose the moment of your birth. Ah, yes, before you came, you spent some time in this domain with such dear friends of spirit who would help you choose what things you do. Beings of love and light that day chose with you the roles they'd play, some good, some bad, some friends, some foes, all set about to play their roles. Roles designed to fit a plan of lessons you agreed to in this land. Each one designed for you to grow and change your view of those called foe. And as you grew so strong and tall, you forgot the plan you made for all. Now these people in your life just cause you grief and pain and strife. You make a plan and set your goals. Your life takes form. It soon unfolds. The job gets hard, but you are tough, and yet it seems it's not enough. You want to run to get away from all the pain and disarray. But everywhere you run, the game turns out to be so much the same. A question creeps in now and then. Is there more to this than I comprehend? Have I forgotten something very fine about a plan I made one time? A choice I made to join a group with strong intent to just transmute the pain, the grief, and all the strife into peace and joy and love of life. Little child of love and light, remember now that star-filled night when you were honored, cheered, and loved for your choice to come from up above. You came to learn, to teach, to heal, to trust yourself in what you feel, to guide you back while on this earth to that place you know before your birth. That place that holds the key to life, lived here in peace and joy, not strife. You have the knowledge, the power, the plan to bring peace and joy and love to your land.
Beautiful, thank you. Molly, Molly, could you put the temperature a little cold? Right. And if you could put the air conditioner just a little up, it's a little chilly. Yeah. Okay. How was that? Did you love that? Was that beautiful? Okay. And now, as we have set the mood, I'm going to ask Richard if he would come forward and say his most powerful prayer for peace for a beautiful planet and all her life. Came from his special ascended master, Athena. Thank you, Richard.
That poem, that was one of Jan Maxim's
Yes, Jan
poems?
Maxim.
Oh, Jan was such a lovely, such a lovely lady. I miss her. Thank you everyone for being here, and thank you for reading the lovely poem. It was really, really good. I hadn't read that in so long, but as soon as I heard it, it opened my heart up again. And it was like, yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I know this one. Every word, by the way. I want to first thank my guardian, my guide through all my live streams, the Ascended Master, Palace Athena. He's been so good to me, and especially this year, kind of started off kind of rough, and she was there every way, holding my hand, had my back, and I just want to continue to acknowledge her presence in my life and all the good that she's done for me. And if everyone would like to take a deep breath in, exhale one more time. Exhale. Once more, please. We open our hearts to Father, Mother, God, because we know that the heart is the temple of divine love. It is a point of contact from which we communicate with God. It is with great love and humility that your children call out to you. We ask you to shine your light into the hearts of everyone here, and even more so, into the hearts of those who are not. That we may honor you as one collective heart, blaze as one sacred fire, and pray as one voice, united in compassion for our brothers and sisters across the globe. Mother, Father, God, We ask you for your blessing tonight. We ask you to bless the whole of humanity, that we may be cleansed and purified in your name, that our mistakes and misdeeds may be forgiven, that the crimes and cruelties man has committed against his fellow man, the animals, and against the very earth itself be washed away, and our souls reborn in the ever-loving presence, peace, and light of God. May harmony and oneness permeate the core of all people. May the multi-hued rays of the light of Christ consciousness descend like a waterfall, rushing forward into the hearts and minds of all mankind. May this deluge of Christ light engulf our beautiful Mother Earth in its supreme radiance and spread in every possible direction, filling every crack and crevice of our thirsty, thirsty world. May its current circulate through every life stream until its influence pervades all existence. We pray that this wave of Christ's love never rest, that it continue to surge until all beings are free from violence, oppression, fear, tyranny, and every manner of unkindness and misqualified energy. Let not one creature walk the land, swim the sea, or fly through the air without knowing the love, grace, mercy, forgiveness, compassion, and the unity of the heart of God. May we remember that all of nature is the domain of the Holy Spirit. In mankind, we are also part of nature. And as a part of nature, it is us who are responsible for the caretaking of the world, for a fellow man, and to recognize the supreme divinity in all things. It is our responsibility to heal and bless the land, to receive its abundance. And so, with the indwelling cosmic Christ consciousness, let us look over the world and see humanity and all living creatures in brotherliness, hopeful and harmonious, in a holy alliance of mankind and nature, whose redemptive power shatters despair and engenders an age of peaceful coexistence. Father, Mother, God, please allow this new hope to dawn within each of us. Let it take its proper place in our hearts and become a wellspring of a progressive movement whose supercharged action in Christ overturns all obstacles, heals all wounds, unbinds every sorrow, and removes the heavy burden in the hearts of so many. May we all feel the joy awakened by the great symphony of God's love. May it give rise to constant aspiration and the qualities of virtue that make each and every one of us great. A golden light is shining, and love is eternal. We give thanks for the energetic ripples of the rising sun of Christ's consciousness that flows through us now and will flow through us always. We are grateful for the dome of the sky, the stars that shine forth in sparkling brilliance, and the world upon which we live. We appreciate the heartfelt joy in the song of birds, the green of the trees, the cries of a newborn, and in the kindness of others, because all things are bathed in the holy radiance of God. Father, Mother, we want to show our gratitude in this moment now for the future day when all men and women will receive and acknowledge the peace, love, strength, courage, and wisdom that will be bestowed upon us through our faith in the cosmic Christ. It is the cosmic Christ who is risen and who dwells within our hearts. We thank you for sharing in our collective prayer this day. And we know that because of our combined actions, we are already victorious. In the name of the Holy Trinity, in the name of all things divine, in the name of the I am that I am. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.
Thank you, Richard. Let's just take a deep breath in. Let's ground this beautiful, beautiful energy that's anchoring in. We acknowledge the radiant beings of light who are here in this interdimensional experience, the overlighting of the highest of the paradise worlds. As we here together unite heaven and earth and send blessings throughout the earth and all of her life. And with that, I will ask Molly if she will come forward.
Aloha, beautiful people.
Aloha.
Aloha. I'm going to bring in a little of the Hawaiian energy tonight. I used to live in Hawaii on the island of Kauai back in the 90s. And I didn't realize why I lived there until just recently when about 5 years ago, I was introduced to the Ho'oponopono prayer. And then I lived my life, and then I got reintroduced again to it, and now I understand its profound impact. So when I say aloha to all of you, did you all know that aloha means to be in the presence of God? So when we say aloha to each other, alo means, the alo part means to be like the face, and ha is the breath of God. So when you put those together, you're in the presence of God. And so it is quite a responsibility and really quite powerful when we say that to another soul. Aloha. When we say hello and goodbye. So with all of that, what's been said so far tonight, Sharon Elizabeth was talking about the fire ants, and it's all very, or fire, and I'm going to talk about fire ants. It's all very synchronistic. So I teach or facilitate the A Course in Miracles group each Wednesday. And we've been doing this group, I think, since last June. And we're still going strong, and it's awesome. And what I found about 6 months into the A Course in Miracles group was that the Ho'opono prayer teachings and A Course in Miracles are so interwoven, they're almost the same. And it basically talks about the bridge to heaven is through forgiveness and taking responsibility and flowing love and gratitude to everything. And so that's embedded in throughout the A Course in Miracles book. And then as I started hearing about Dr. Hugh Len, who's the man who really brought the Ho'opono prayer out into the world through this woman that he learned it from, and her name was Morna Simeon. And the basic premise of Ho'oponopono is to take responsibility for our thoughts. And when we know that God is love, I think everyone here is in agreement that God is love, and the thought of love is God, and life is God, which is love. So anything that we connect into that is the thought of that which we are not, or a thought of negativity or any kind of separation, any type of negativity, anything that isn't love is the separation thought going off. And so if we would like to really experience as above, so below, as Sharon Elizabeth said, we need to really be responsible with our thoughts. And are we going to say aloha to everyone that comes across our path, and every encounter, everything that we encounter, whether it can be viewed as good or bad, it just is. It's God expressing himself on this earth. So I'd like to just share a short story of what happened the other day, of how I'm really walking this out in the world, applying these principles, allowing myself to say the Ho'opono prayer throughout the day. And the thing that's super cool is once you really start saying this whole Ho'oponopono prayer, which is the simple premise, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. So the I'm sorry is taking responsibility that I had an error thought that went off, that created something that was not of the connection to God. I separated myself from God. The please forgive me creates the rainbow bridge back to the oneness, where when you say, thank you and I love you, it's already done. We are already whole, healed, complete, and perfect. And if we choose to connect into only the thoughts of that which we are, you will find that everyone here, absolutely everyone, there is no sickness, there is no separation. That's all the illusion. And so when we choose to see, I call taking an elevator down to our heart. So we're seeing with the eyes of the heart, not through the physical eyes. We're seeing the world through the eyes of the heart. We really start to experience miracles. So the other day I was out working in my yard in the back, and I was pulling weeds, and I'm just saying this Ho'oponopono prayer throughout the day because it's like a spring cleaning. Here we are in spring equinox, and when you're saying this Ho'oponopono prayer, you say constantly, it starts running, it starts cleaning automatically. It's cleaning all this data and memories and things that are coming up from our subconscious that really aren't even the truth of who we are. Past memories of maybe something someone told you that you're not good at this or you're not good at that. That's all just error messages. It's all the error thought. And so when we just send love and gratitude to everything, love and gratitude to every experience, every person, everything, you will see how it really starts getting very easy to forgive the world. There's a great quote in the book of A Course in Miracles that says, "The light has come. I have forgiven the world," which means we aren't crucifying people or things with our thoughts anymore. We are allowing ourselves to live in freedom. We're free to roam about the planet, which means so is everyone else. And that's when you see everyone as your brother and sister, and you aren't tied down by symbols and past memories and data that keeps replaying, that keeps you playing small. Instead, you claim your divinity. You step into it and you let the world know, I am here. I am a beacon of light. I am walking on this earth. I am here to leave light trails in my footsteps and light this place up. And remember that I am divine, and so is absolutely everyone. And we walk our brothers and sisters home. So we also are connecting with creatures, which is one of my favorite things. So here's my little story I was going to tell you. I was working outside the other day, and I'm just working, but I'm saying the prayer as I'm working. I'm just like, I love you, thank you. I love you, thank you. And if I have an error thought that comes in, I'm like, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. Because the awesome thing is, it is so powerful to be aware of your thoughts instead of having all these random error thoughts go through your mind. When you say this Ho'oponopono prayer, you're cleaning up. You're doing spring cleaning for the earth, for your ancestors, for friends, for everyone on this earth. It's super, super powerful. So as I was working, I work barefoot when I'm outside, and I had unearthed a fire ant colony, and I didn't realize it until they were all over my feet. And there were hundreds of them on my feet. But what I did was I just gently brushed them off. Okay. And I just started saying the prayer because I was responsible for unearthing their home. They have just as much reason to be here as I do. So I brushed them off. And as my feet started swelling up with welts, I started saying, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And I said that over and over and over again. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Because what I'm also doing is cleaning any data or memories that would come up of any information that anyone has ever told me. Oh, if you get bit by fire ants, it's going to last a long time. You're going to swell up with all this data that's coming up. I am transcending the rules of this earth, be in this world, but not of it, right? So when you're transcending the rules of this earth, you don't live by the earthly rules. So I was just like, I know this is already done. I'm whole, healed, and complete. And these fire ants are my friends assisting me with practicing what Jesus was doing on this earth, where he was transcending all the rules of this world, where you're as above, so below. So I just said that prayer and I meant it with every ounce of my being. And when I looked down at my feet, all the welts were gone. You can look at my feet. This just happened 2 days ago. They were all gone. And you could sit there and go, wow, that was a miracle. But you know what? Every one of us is a miracle. Every one of us breathing, everything is a miracle. And so when you start really practicing and living your life as I am an expression of God walking on this earth, you are all expressions of God walking on this earth. And when you only give option to God equals love, the thought, God created the universe with a thought of love. He did not create negativity. He did not create negative entities. He did not create all this stuff that we've created in our mind that we experience. He is love. When you transcend all the symbols and when you transcend the error thought and choose to connect into the thought of what is real, you will experience miracles as commonplace. They'll be commonplace. For miracles are natural. They're expressions of love. That's what a miracle is. So anytime you choose to connect into the thought of love instead of the error thought of this is a scary place here, this is this is that, that's what you will experience, because it's really super simple, you guys. If you connect in with that thought, that's what reflects in your world. That's the only way that it can show up, is if you connect into that thought. If you connect into the thought of God, I am an expression of God on this earth. Everything is here for me. I am innocent. I am love. That is what you will see reflected back to you over and over and over again. Aloha, beautiful people. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Marley. Thank you. We agree that we will have a miracle life, that is the new normal. The new normal is living a miraculous life
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
And the new normal is that we don't react, we act. The new normal is the environment does not impact us, we impact the environment. And we choose to impact the environment and our sphere of influence with unconditional love. And the basis of that is forgiveness. Forgive everything and everybody. That's all. It just doesn't matter. Forgive everything and everybody. Everything and everybody. Throughout all timelines. Forgive everything and everybody. And from that reset, we lived a miraculous life. So thank you so much. Energy is powerful in here. I don't know if you feel it. It's crowded. And I just want to mention this, and Molly brought this up, but I did feel to put this on here. And basically, now more than ever, and perhaps, we do live in a world of Maya. It's illusion. And the illusion can be very thick. The illusion can be really real. Okay, this Maya. And I was shown the symbol of Maya, what that looked like from the Divine Mother, and it was like being in a vat of molasses. That's how thick it can be. You don't know which way is up or down. So the fact that you've been moving in a direction, pat yourself on the back. But now where we are is that we have energetically all those prayers, all of the light workers around the world, all those that have been holding on to their hearts dreaming, all the Tibetans that have been spinning those wheels, decades of all the cumulative prayers are piercing through the illusion, piercing through the Maya. And now more than ever, it is the integrating of the higher worlds. It is the integrating of our higher selves. And so this is a very powerful time, people. And so I want to say, before I'm going to ask Ava to come up with our special going away present, is that really think about now, energetically, we have all of the thrust and the divine grace to really manifest what it is we would want in our worlds and for the world. And for the world. It's very powerful times right now. So just like a balance and a scale, as you could say, you could go into the default where it's, what I call the counterforce or the illusion, or we could be very, very clear and anchored into the reality of who and what we are as powerful, magnificent beings of light that wields much power, which is why we must be careful with our thoughts. Mm-hmm. So careful. When much is given, much is expected. So with that, I'm going to ask Ava to come up forward now to do an explanation of what we're going to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, this is pretty much now self-explanatory because you have it in the paper, so there is not much to share right now. This super full moon is in Libra, and Libra is the astrological sign that is in resonance with balance. So pretty much balance, cooperation, and partnerships is going to be felt in the air. It is also the first time since 1981 that the March full moon arrives on the same day as the equinox. So this makes this event even more powerful from a metaphysical standpoint. The same day, yeah, that was in 1981. And I believe that it won't happen until 2030. So for those that don't know, and I'm sure that everybody knows though, the equinox in Aries initiates the beginning of the astrological calendar. And this means that we can take advantage of this energy to harness our goals, to harness our desires, our new projects, and anything new that we want to welcome into our lives. That's why you have those two papers. On the other hand, the full moon means completion, so finalizing, perhaps feeling moments of truth, self-realization of something that has ended and no longer serves you. So we're going to do a very simple ritual today, which is one of the papers is you have been filling out, the one for the full moon, which is what we don't want anymore in our lives. And the one with the beginning of the astrological year is that paper where you will put all the desires, all the projects, all the goals that you have for the new year, and just keep that paper somewhere. And it will be really nice to have a look at it next year on the equinox on 2020. So that's all that I had to share. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so at the end, if you could give Sheila and Donna your papers, we'll get a basket and just Molly, you could find one, and we could just put it in there. And then we have the fire pit right up front, and we're going to burn those things that we're going to release ourselves from. So just before we go, I'm going to ask if we would please say that we remember together. You will find it in your handout. It's on the bottom. It's we remember. Let us all say that together. We remember we are spiritual beings of light, one with the source of all creation. We remember all is one. We remember that we are creators and part of a divine creative plan. We remember we are here in physical expression as guardians and stewards to earth, and we work in collaboration with other spiritual beings of light from various streams of consciousness. We work together, bounded by love, to the great Earth Mother, to take her place as a world of peace. We walk the path of love and light. Blessed are they who seek the light, for the light shall be given in greater measure. Blessed are they who give the energy of light, for they shall know the increase. Blessed are the children of light upon the earth, for theirs is the reward of the redemption. For the children of light are given the work of lifting the planet out of its state of darkness through the increase in vibratory rate as it emanates from the being into the ethers. As ye are lifted, you will draw unto the self the one who seeks. The child of light is thereby the servant of the Most High, and so it is. So it is. Amen, 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 and amen. That concludes our 2019 spring equinox. And for all those who have been participating or will participate on the YouTube Live, okay, know that this energy is just as impactful as if you were here present. It's imprinted, okay? And but I say at the end, we would ask for your donations. We do this powerful work, and it's based on the donations and the love, the unconditional of others to do that. If you would like to stay for the burning of the prayers, make sure you hand the burning of the prayers as you go out. You're welcome to stay. We're going to burn it. The fire pit is right in the front over here. If you feel that you can't and you have to leave, that's okay too. Those things that you want to release will be burnt. Namaste. Namaste. They're going to go outside. I'm going to get the bowl.
We give thanks to the energies of the Sacred Center for sharing your divine blessings with us today. Hail and farewell, so mote it be. We give energies to the Spirit below for sharing your divine blessings with us today. Hail and farewell, so mote it be. We give thanks to the energies above for sharing your divine blessings with us today. Hail and farewell, so mote it be. We give thanks to the energies of the West for sharing your divine blessings with us today. Hail and farewell, so mote it be. We give thanks to the energies of the South for sharing your divine blessings with us today. Hail and farewell, so mote it be. We give thanks to the energies of the North for sharing your divine blessings with us today. Of the East for sharing your divine blessings with us today. Hail and farewell, so mote it be. We give thanks to the energies of the North for sharing your divine blessings with us today. Hail and farewell, so mote it be. Thank you.